gonna go to the apple cider mill today for the last time this year. The apple cider mill shuts on Christmas Eve, I think, for a year. So we'll go get some apple cider and some apples and some donuts one last time. And then after that, we're gonna go to that church that has that large Christmas tree. I am fairly certain that the tree will be on today. It wasn't last time we went, but that was prior to the lighting date, so that was logical enough. So it should be on tonight, and it should be completely dark by the time we get there. And then we'll see after that. Maybe after that I will go to the thrift store and the Chinese restaurant, or maybe not, I'm not sure. I have a lot of things to do tonight, so it would be kind of convenient to not have to spend time cooking, but the Chinese restaurant is more expensive than cooking, so I don't know, we'll see. I think that this is all the Christmas lights we're going to get around here. It's really a shame. I don't know why there's so few this year. They're just a couple days out from Christmas, so I feel like if there was going to be any put out, they'd be put out by now. And there's just not much to see. I don't recall it being like this in years past, so I don't know why this is the case now. You know what, maybe we will go to the thrift store, because then we can look at some of the Christmas lights in that area, because I haven't been to that area at night yet since it's become Christmas season, so maybe we'll do that. That makes sense. Hopefully that area have more Christmas lights than this area. I went to Kevin's area a couple of days ago, and there was a tremendous amount of Christmas lights. Almost every house had them, and a lot of the houses were quite nice displays. So I don't know what the heck is with this area this year. Well, I also noticed that, I don't know if this is relevant or not, but I also noticed that the amount of Christmas lights remaining at the stores is next to none. And they're already on sale, and they're already pretty much gone. You know, it's going to be better to go straight. So I was very surprised by that, because that was different than years past. I don't even normally look for the sales prior to Christmas. I don't usually go until after Christmas. And now this year I went before, and it was stuff was already gone. So I don't know what's up with that. Maybe the stores are just ordering less because the stuff wasn't selling. I remember last year the Home Depot had shelves and shelves worth of LED lights remaining well past Christmas, and they weren't discounting them very cheap at all. Oh well, I guess it's just as well because I didn't really have any money left to buy any Christmas stuff on sale this year, anyways. So the fact that there was none kind of solved that problem. I'm glad I bought as many as I did last year. When Lowe's went on sale last year, I ordered some very large quantities of incandescent C9 painted incandescent C9 minis, and I had enough for this year, and I have enough for probably decades to come. So I'm very glad I did that, and I think that we might have seen the last of those lights, those store brand incandescent C9s, because this year Lowe's had incandescent C9 painted, but they were under the General Electric brand and they cost twice as much, so I didn't buy any. They're a ripoff. You're better off at this point just buying bulbs from the websites that sell them. You got 1000bulbs.com, and there's one other one I bought for novelty light something or other.com, and you get a box of 25 for a couple bucks, and you just use your own string. Now, that having been said, there was no shortage of incandescent lights this year. There was plenty. There was plenty in season. You know, when the year first came out, like early December, there was plenty, or even before that, in November there was plenty of different varieties. And there are still a fair bit of incandescent mini lights left at the Home Depot, but nothing like years past. But no, I don't think that incandescent mini lights or any type of incandescent Christmas lights are going away this year. I think that there will be plenty again next year and for quite some time, because they're still selling. And as long as they're selling, I'm sure they're probably going to be made. We only have 21 minutes left to get to the apple cider mill, but I think we'll make it. We got through here pretty quick. This is usually where the problems take place. That's a little ridiculous. Can't just wait. Stupid. Wasn't even that bad. Like, sometimes you can spend 5 minutes waiting at those intersections, and we went right through that. That was totally uncalled for. Not that that's acceptable when you're sitting there for 5 minutes, but at least it's understandable. That was not understandable. That was just stupid. Well, not seeing much over here either. There's some, but not many. Look at this. There's nothing on this road. Why is it like that this year? There's a couple houses there, but there's hardly anything. That really stinks. It's not like there's a line of traffic ahead and I'm going at traffic speed. And now so is that person again. And I bet we're going to get stopped at the light too. And then I'll be right behind that person and he or she will have gained nothing. Yep, that's exactly what's going to happen. The light is red. Duh. Okay, there he or she goes, turning right. Oh, that's great. Got the 2 seconds ahead of me? 1 second? Oh. What a joke. People are ridiculous around here. Well, they're ridiculous everywhere. I don't think that this is a isolated thing around here. And we made it with 15 minutes to spare. It's not too bad. We've cut it much closer than that other times. Okay, I got the apple cider and the donuts. Last ones for the year until August. I'll miss these donuts and this apple cider, but it's just as well because this is expensive. Why does this stinking digital map keep coming on? Nobody needs this digital map right now. Shut off. Stinking digital map. And it's got all these stupid charging stations on there now. It never used to have this. The whole screen is just cluttered with plugs. Oh, I don't need that. And I can't figure out how to get it off of there. Alright, so now it's 5:23. We have until, I think 8 o'clock. I think the thrift store is open till 8 o'clock. So that should be more than enough time to get over there and look at the tree. Fortunately, it's not windy tonight, so we should be able to spend a few minutes there without freezing. donuts just came out of the oven. They're still hot. I always go right before it closes because they don't make any extra, after a certain time of day. So when you go later in the day, they're making them to order, and they're usually better that way. You gotta wait, but I don't care. I'm not in a rush. Everything is slow around here anyways. And I'm really not seeing many lights around here either. That's disappointing. I think I'll cut over here and then we'll go through some side roads. There's a better shot of seeing Christmas lights that way. Oh, there's some incandescent Z9s. It's like a red and white string. There's some incandescent C9 as well. Well, maybe things are a little better in this area. At least for Christmas lights anyways. Yeah, there was an issue at that site. I forgot about this. It wasn't with me, but the lady at the there's one person in front of me, and the lady at the register said, when they were done, "Oh, that's nice. Is that incandescent?" It is. I think it is. Oh wow, look at that. That's a huge tree of incandescent C9, the painted ones. Wish there was somewhere I could stop here and take a picture, but there really isn't. Anyways, the lady at the register told the customer once they were done, "Merry Christmas." And the customer says, "No, Happy Holidays," and stormed out. It's ridiculous. I don't understand why that is so offensive to people. Like, if someone says to me, "Happy Hanukkah," I just say thanks and then, move on with it. That doesn't offend me. It doesn't upset me. I don't care. I don't... people, it's just ridiculous. Absolutely ridiculous. So she said Merry Christmas to me, and I said Merry Christmas to her, and without issue. I don't know why people make such a big deal out of that. You know how many people tell me, Happy Halloween, and I don't celebrate Halloween, and I don't make a big deal out of it. People just like to stir things up nowadays and cause drama, and it's just not necessary. There's some incandescent C9. That's very nice. That's a good amount of sets too. That's probably 4 or 5 sets right there. No, but then there's all these houses in between that have nothing. So I guess there's not really a whole lot in this area either. Well, there's some blow molds in that house. Now we're in a whole different town. There's some blow molds there. It looks kind of old. I don't know what's up with it this year. I just remember years ago it was like every house had something. I mean, almost every house. Now it's like you gotta go looking. I don't normally leave the house at this time, and this is why. I only left the house this early because the apple cider mill shuts at 5:30. Normally I don't go out until much later, let all this traffic clear out. All these nutty people with their happy holidays go home, and then they can go out to the store in peace. There used to be a couple houses on this road that did a lot of lights. And then in more recent years, it's kind of turned into just like a blow up things instead of lights. I don't know how they maintain it with the amount of wind we get around here, unless this particular neighborhood doesn't get a lot of wind. I don't know. Yeah, there it is. That's what I was thinking of. there's the thrift store. The questionable Will thrift store. That wall red still says 1 hour photo. I bet no one's developed pictures in that store in years. Who the heck develops pictures anymore anyways? I remember my you can't go if there's traffic coming. Duh. What's wrong with these people? That's good. Race up to the next light. That's just so dumb. There used I remember my mother developing pictures, but I never personally developed any pictures. I always used a digital camera, a Digitan camera. Oh, that's funny and typical. Here we are at this red light, and there's that white van that had to start honking when there was, you can't turn because there's traffic coming. As usual, race around to cause all sorts of problems, and then we end up at the same place at the same time. It's pointless. You burn through all that extra fuel, all the extra wear on the vehicle, the potential hazard from going in and out of lanes and potentially causing road rage for nothing. It's dumb. It doesn't make any sense. Oh, is this a total mess up here? Rats. We're gonna be here for some time. And we have to turn right, so we gotta stay in that lane. Wonder if I'm gonna get honked at because I left a little bit of distance in front of the person in front of me. Which I do that because then if someone crashes from behind, at least I don't wreck both ends of the car, just the back end of the car gets wrecked. When you sit up real close to the other car, you get hit from behind, then you wreck the front of the car and you wreck the other car in front of you too. It's stupid. It doesn't do it, it doesn't get you anywhere any faster. Look at that. That is ridiculous. Those are all people racing up to a red light. And it's not like it was turning. It was already red. It's been red for 15 seconds now. I just don't get it. That's the salt place. There's a couple high pressure sodium lights there still, but I've already filmed those. Now we might get through the next cycle. That's another thing. I see that person just moved up like 2 feet. Why? What benefit does that serve? You're not going to get there any quicker by doing that. I see people do that all the time too. It just doesn't make any sense. There it goes again. Those two people in front of us just moved a couple feet again. Why? What the heck purpose does that serve? Years ago, these trees, I think, used to get Christmas lights. I'm not sure I want to come back this way. Look at that traffic. Maybe I can avoid it. I have to see. I keep forgetting where this is in relation to what other routes I can take. Because I don't go around here much anymore. Yeah, this is atrocious. I'm not doing that. No way. Absolutely not. All right, we'll have to think of a different way to do it because that's goofy. Wow, look at that. Wow, this goes like probably for a couple miles. Yep, definitely not going back this way. There's a store up here called Seven Maples, I think, and they used to have a lot of Christmas lights and stuff at the store. There was a handful of Christmas stores, or not Christmas stores, but stores that have Christmas stuff that I was going to go to and try to film at earlier this year, but life kind of crashed and burned around the time I was going to do that, and I just didn't do it. So we'll try next year. $3.09. That gas price is ridiculous over here. I've seen $2.40 something in the last week. There will be some high-pressure sodium lampposts coming up on the right. I have filmed them in the past. Oh, they're off tonight. That's unfortunate. Nope, they're on. Even worse. It looks like they've been changed to stupid DL. Yeah, they have been. That stinks. I know I've filmed those. I'm not sure if I ever posted the video or not. I definitely have some video of those. There is just less and less high pressure sodium every day. Very unfortunate, very disappointing. There's a high pressure sodium lamppost. I don't think I've ever seen that one before. Okay, so up here is where we gotta turn. Nope, this is not where we have to turn. This is it? Oh yeah, it is. Okay, good. Let's see if I get honked at for not turning into oncoming traffic this time. I don't know if it's in the frame or not, but there is a cold spot just to the right in this ice cream store on the top level. Yep, I'm getting honked at for not turning fast enough. That's ridiculous. Stupid people. Totally out of control. Alright, we're getting close to it now. It's on this road, but it's a ways down. closed now. I see it. Wow, that is a huge tree. Put a lot of lights on that this year too. Alright, cool. So it's on, it's there. I'll come back around and we'll take some pictures. I can just turn around through here. I'm not gonna get a good clearing here. There's no formal parking lot for this thing, so I wanted to have a little bit of a gap to be able to get off the road, but it doesn't look like I'm gonna be able to get that. Well, maybe here. Okay, good. This is biggest tree in the area I'm aware of. See if we can get some pictures. I brought the other camera too. I'll take some pictures with both. Wow, this thing is massive. It's been a couple years since I've been here, so I guess it probably has grown. There's more lights than I remember. These are C9 DELs. Yeah, it comes out better on this camera for the pictures. Take a couple still pictures. Wow, look at that. That's crazy. Huge. There's even a star up at the top. It's dirty. Yeah, it was a little bit. Let's see if I can get a picture with the church in the background. Here's the cords. There's 3 cords that are powering it. As far as it needs 3. That's a nice picture. That's all blurry. Oh, the stinking, there's a car in the background. Get out of the way. It's hard to get this picture without the traffic in the frame. Cool. Maybe I'll take a video with this camera too. Oh, I almost dropped this camera. Yeah, I'm gonna take a video with this camera too. Not necessarily a better video, but it definitely, the image is very different. The exposure and everything is different. That's beautiful. The only thing sad about this is that probably 15 years ago, this was all incandescent. It's one of very few scenarios where a Verticam video works. Otherwise, Verticam video is generally stupid. Wow. Okay, my hands are frozen. Well, that was definitely worth the trip, though. Alright, I'll take a picture with my cell phone so I can send it to Kevin. I don't know how long this is I don't know how long this is here for after Christmas. Hopefully a little while. Okay, now I'll go back and take a picture with my cell phone. Why is it all blurry? So come on. There we go, now it's clear. It keeps getting all blurry. I should have brought a better jacket. It's too cold out here. Okay, I'll send this picture to Kevin and then I'll go to the questionable Will thrift store. I'm getting hungry. I think we're gonna go to the Chinese restaurant. Okay, now I gotta figure out how to get out of here without hitting all that traffic. I still don't know what church this actually is, and this sign doesn't say. It just says, before it said what day the Christmas lighting was, now it says candlelight service. Well, I'm not sure if I'm going to be able to get out of here anytime soon because there is a steady flow of traffic. Okay, I think I have enough opening now. If I could find out what the name of this church is, I could probably call and see if I can find out how long it's illuminated to. I would imagine it's waited at least a little bit after Christmas, but I don't know. Next year I'll try to get to the tree lighting there. I was gonna go this year, but then something happened. I didn't. But I'll try again next year. Okay, so I think what we're going to do here is we're going to go left. And I think if we keep going for a little while, we can cut through a back way to get back to the other road with the questionable Will thrift store on it. That's a pretty well done tree. Those look like incandescent too. Yep, those are definitely incandescent. That's unusual. This person in front of us now is exhibiting another ridiculous driving behavior I don't understand. The speeding up and slowing down just to try to stay as close as possible to the person in front of you. I haven't let off the throttle once since we started, and that person must have gone to the brake 15 times already. That's ridiculous. Just go at the speed of the other people. There you go, on the brake again. For what purpose? Stupid. See, look at that, that's ridiculous. I think if we turn out to this complex up here, we're gonna get to, I think I know how to get there. Oh, that was risky. This complex has high-pressure sodium streetlights. I'm going to pass through it to look at the streetlights. You're not technically supposed to do this when there's a traffic light to go through the parking lot, but if I get a ticket for doing it, I'm going to take this video to court and say that I went through it to look at the streetlights, not to get around the traffic light, which is accurate. Alright, I think if we go down this road, we're going to hit another road which we can use to get back to that main road, I think. There was a bike path down here many years ago that we used to go to, and I wanted to go back to this summer. I don't know why I never did. Oh, look at that. Oh, I'm glad we went this way now. Wow, look at that. That's impressive. There is a bike path here, but this is not the one I'm thinking of. Wow. That's a lot of lights on those trees here. That's exceptional. I think I'm gonna stop and take a picture. I'm gonna take a picture. That's really impressive. Unfortunately, they're flickering DELs, but still pretty good. Those DELs at least have good coloring, even though they're flickering. Wow, it goes all the way back. Ah, it's shut. I don't know what kind of business that is. Okay, this is the bike path I'm thinking of. Where's the road I'm thinking of? This one. So the bike path is just like a quarter mile down the road from here. And this is the cutover road. There's a high pressure sodium light there. That's pretty cool. I don't see that often anymore. I never see pole mounted lights like that around here. That's super unusual, other than my yard. I've never seen that before. And I've come down here before at night. I'm not sure where we're supposed to go from here. I'm gonna say right. We're not that far out anymore, so I should be able to tell. That was pretty impressive there. I should be able to tell pretty quickly whether or not this was correct. The road was correct, but the camera ran out of charge. We're at the thrift store now. I'll take some pictures inside if there's anything worth showing. Typical. There were two 3733s at this store. I did not get either one of them because they were $11, which I think is a little bit too much. Although they were pretty new, they were from 2021. Historically, this store almost always had a dehumidifier at it. Now it's turning into the 3733 store. I think the last 4 or 5 times I've been here, there was a 3733. I called the Chinese restaurant, so we'll go over there and pick up that food now. It's going to take some time. It says it's going to take 30 minutes. I don't know if I believe that. It usually goes quicker than that, but maybe it's very busy tonight. That took a very long time. Ironically, I think it would have been faster if I made dinner at home, but that's okay. It's supposed to snow tomorrow, or I guess starting tonight, and there's already stinking salt being put all over the roads here. Oh, that's quite an extensive setup. But we don't have time to stop and look. Quite an extensive display over there too, but there's no time to go overlook in that direction either. Now we've got food getting cold.
This is beautiful. There's a fire pit. Looks like a bathroom. And a lot of monarch butterflies. Pretty interesting. I like the Gulf Coast for kayaking because it's almost always calm. Not really many waves on a regular day. So I could walk down here with my backpack and kayak in one trip, not packing super heavy. Bring enough water. And if we went down a ways, there's a bunch of islands with beaches. So down there is pretty much where we just parked, and you see that row of signs? This is National Animal Refuge. Now we wouldn't have been camping in there, but nothing says we couldn't park down in this way. A lot of trash around here. At least somebody cleaned it up and put it in that fridge. The sand is so white, it's blinding the sun off it. And I bet this water would be even more calm if we left early in the morning. So I gotta get the kayak and we're gonna explore down there. There's a lot of little islands the map is showing, and all the little islands seem to have really sandy beaches. According to Google Maps, this campground is temporarily closed, but in person, nothing says you can't be here. Absolutely nothing. Abandoned bathrooms. Here's the septic. You see the main road just ends. I feel like after a big storm it may have eroded. This may have gone to a nice parking area and a campground. That's what it seems like. Alright everyone, I just went through everything. I've never tipped a kayak in my life, but you are required by Florida law to at least have it in here. I'm not going far out, I'm just gonna follow the coast down to a couple of islands and we'll check them out. I got a new tent, it's very compact, never seen that before. It's round. I'll show you that when we get there. Got the paddles, more water than I think we need, an MRE because it's really hot. I don't feel like cooking. I thought about bringing my little stove out here. I thought about stopping by a store to get something to eat, but we'll save that for another campground, maybe in the Everglades. We'll head down there in a couple days. It's here up in northern Florida. It's already super hot, but amazingly, it's not humid at all. The breeze coming off the Gulf is really nice. All right, everyone, it's 1 in the afternoon. We have about 6 or 7 hours till it gets dark. That was actually very heavy moving down here with all my stuff. But it'll be lighter on the way back after we use up a lot of water. Pretty calm for the ocean. All right, everyone, so what we're looking at now, right here and right here, is this and this. They don't seem to have a name, but we're gonna be continuing on. I wanna try to get to Little Pine Island way down here. I think we can get down there in about another 2 hours. I hear a dog somewhere. Maybe it's on this boat that's approaching. Hopefully they don't make too many waves. All right, so here's what it looks like up close. There is actually nice white sand in there, and there's one tree on the island, very small. Island has an elevation of probably less than a foot. Here's that other thing I was pointing at. I don't think that's even an island. That looks like it has water all the way through it, but it's very shallow. In fact, where I am now, I could probably get out and I'd be able to touch the bottom. So this is Big Pine Island. It has so many awesome beaches. We're gonna try to sleep at Little Pine Island over there. Very small, lots of sand, only a couple of palms. It's actually not as far as I thought. But then again, something on the horizon like that, that's gonna take us probably another almost hour to get to, I think. We will see. It is 1:20 exactly. As soon as I start to feel the sun tingling, I gotta put sunscreen on. It doesn't feel that bad right now, but let this be the first trip to the south I don't get severely burned. This used to be an island. That tree sticking up, completely eroded. Over here you can see from the last hurricane, lots of trees tipped over and uprooted. Big Pine Island. I don't think I see a single pine in there, actually. But we're going up there to a little teeny thing on the horizon. No one's out here. The guy on that boat back there was also very nice. He went by us super duper slow, trying not to make waves. When we get there, we're gonna see if there's any pines. Yeah, now I see it. There are indeed pines in the center of this island, deep in the woods. All right, everyone, so we're about halfway to it, I think. The waves are a little bit bigger out here. A few of them have splashed in, but nothing too terrible or concerning yet. There's a lot of fish that keep jumping out of the water, which is nice. We've almost made it to the end of Big Pine Island. The thick part's already gone. These barrier islands are so cool. We're getting closer. It looks like two little islands connected by a sandbar. More trees in the water. But over here, what's that? Is that pelicans? I don't think it's pelicans. Got some sort of birds out there. Might be pelicans. I can't see from this distance, even zooming in. What if I zoom in 20 times? Are those pelicans? They might be pelicans, yeah. It's just this is so shaky out here on this choppiness to really get a good focus on him. Who we got out here? I love seeing the birds that are all over the south. Okay, maybe we're a little bit closer, a little bit calmer now. Yeah, they're pelicans. They're pelicans, all right. Let me snap a few stills. Awesome. Okay, that looks, now that we're getting closer, like two separate little islands. You got another friend out here.
The path to better sleep starts now with the Sleep Savings event at Raymore and Flanagan. Save up to 5.
All right. Now that we're closer, it's not what it appeared to be at all. From a distance, it looks completely different. Yeah, they are actually connected like I originally thought. And those pelicans are actually on the same island. I couldn't tell that from a distance. We got a seagull right there. Another seagull. And we are closer than before. Yep, pelicans with a whole bunch of other birds. Because they're way out here, I doubt they're gonna be the friendlier ones that you let you get closer. Because out here, there's not too many people. What does he have? He got a fish. See all the uprooted trees, lots of erosion here. The boats you can hear are actually super far away. And look, there's stumps. This island was a lot bigger. I gotta compare where I'm standing to what the map is showing in a moment. I'm trying to go around the island and see what we got. Oh, here he is again. What kind of bird is that? It caught a fish. I'm trying to be as still as possible. It's really hard when you're zooming in. But I think I snapped some shots of him. The water's so shallow everywhere, and it's pretty clear. Like, when I was camping last year, where we had to walk 8 hours through the Everglades to get to a swamp. All right, I mean, we walked 8 hours through the Everglades to get to a beach. It was very silty water down there on the southwest coast of Florida. Very silted, always dirty, and that's dangerous because there's stingrays in that water, and you're not gonna see them, and if you step on them, it could end very badly. I'm seeing if we can go all the way around this, make a lap. I think the other side is still the best side to camp where we came in from. Okay, the back side. Here's where all those pelicans are. Alright, so I'm gonna show myself going around, because I got a feeling they're gonna fly away, but if not, we'll get some footage of the pelicans. I'm not gonna try to go super close to them, I'm just gonna try to get around the sandbar that they're sitting on. So I'll angle you guys towards them. It's stiller back here on the side. Okay, this is actually perfect to get some close-up shots. I got you stabilized on the tripod so we can get some good pictures of these guys. I'm hoping these shots are coming out good. I'll add all my stills to the end of the video. That's what I usually do. Beautiful. I've never seen this many pelicans up close. At least not since I was a little kid. And that was at a pier where they were kinda used to people. Let's zoom into them a little bit more. They're not afraid. Maybe I'll actually be able to get around them without them taking off. Maybe they got confidence in a group like this. Oh, fish. I see why they're out here. There's lots of fish. And I feel like those are falcons, the ones that I'm showing catching them. I'm not 100% though. Okay, these guys are taking off, but that's a sandbar. There's not enough depth there. I still gotta keep going all the way out and around. And yep, this is an island we verified. You can't always trust Google Maps because sandbars can form differently every storm, connecting land, making land bridges. Things can erode. So there's islands the map might show you, which aren't actual islands anymore. And right here, the smell is horrible. These guys, with their seafood diet, it absolutely stinks here. The waste from these guys is gross. Okay, we're getting some nice shots of them right now with the island in the back. Okay, now let's go back to where the palm trees are and we can set up camp soon. I'll keep the camera going because they might, it looks like the flock might take off. I'm just gonna paddle slowly, not making any noise. Whoa! They'll come back. This could end very, very badly for me, all the birds flying. When I was in middle school, when they let us out for recess, the birds all started flying like this, and it was dropping poops on everybody. They're just moving away from me. They're just landing on a different part of the island. Look at these birds. There's a whole ton of them. Can you hear them all chirping at the same time? That really sounds nice. And all the pelicans right now, they're not really bothered by me. They all flew away and they're all landing back there. And look at these guys just all took off too. Oh, whoa! Thought they were gonna fly into me there. Oh, here they come around again. Awesome. All the pelicans have landed again back where they were. There's the falcon again. Got a fish. That's so cool. I'm still in the boat, but I'm like on the shore, so I'm sort of semi-stable. These guys are around, so I'm sure we can get more shots of them. Over here it's very muddy, and ooh, I gotta get out of here. And so I brought Crocs to the island so I can take my pants off and go swimming. This area of the water is actually nice. It's very warm, and you see the pelicans are at the far side of the island, landed back. That's so cool. Let's see what the island's got to offer. I see footprints. Other people been here. Nice flat spots to set up a tent. Here's a rope, somebody's clothesline. Unfortunately, someone left their Pop-Tart wrappers. I hate to see that stuff. When there's a little bit of trash like this, I always try to clean it up. If there's a lot, there's not much you can do about it yourself, but little wrappers, I always take them with me. And look at all the baby palms starting to grow. Little baby palm trees. Cool island. We have hundreds, maybe thousands of friends on the island with us. There's a lot of birds. Honestly, it probably is in the thousands because look at all these guys. There's so many of these small birds, and these ones aren't even afraid of me when I was coming in. Looks like we have a cowbird too. Is that what I'm seeing there? Where are you? Yeah. I love coming out to places like this. great places as a nature photographer. And you see there's houses back there on the mainland, but the mainland is pretty far. I don't think anyone's gonna bother us out here. So let's unload, pick up some trash, add it to my trash bag. People are trying to bury their trash too. We'll have a nice sunset out here, I'm sure. Here's this guy again. Oh, with fish again. Cool. All right, everyone, we got a new tent that I've never even set up before, never even tried it at home or nothing. It comes on like a backpack. It's made by Nightcat. I have another Nightcat tent for backpacking for 2 people. It's the smallest little compact thing, so easy to set up. So I had to give another one of their products a try. This is a automatic pop-up tent, supposedly. Let's open it, look at the directions, and figure out how it works. It's rated for 1 person. Let's see how this is gonna work out. So I haven't decided yet if I'm gonna put a tarp down over the sand. Everything that's salty kind of makes a mess. It's got tent stakes, but there's no wind. Plus, when I put my backpack in there, it's not gonna blow away. Okay, Nightcat pop-up tent user manual. Let me show you. So right here's the user manual. Step 1, stand in the middle to collect all of the poles. These things are always a challenge the first time setting these things up, but then it's usually pretty easy. Whoa! It literally just popped out. I hope I can figure out how to put that away tomorrow. Oh, that's pretty cool. That's pretty cool. Let's go back here, put in the shade. That was pretty cool. Now let's see how hard it is to put away in the morning. I think I might even practice right now trying to take the thing down. We're gonna try right now. We're gonna try taking this down so things are easier in the morning. But let's see what we got. I think you could honestly probably squeeze a second person in there. I like how it has a window out each side, 1 door at the end. And what are we looking at for material? That looks like plastic that opened it up. It might have metal. I'm pretty sure there's metal in the middle of that plastic. I think I got it, and now it fit back in the bag. So you gotta squeeze it like a figure 8. I'm not exactly sure how I did that. But I'm gonna stop what I'm doing because There's a lot of sand in it right now. I gotta clean it. Two people could totally actually use this tent, but it was a unique design and I wanted to review it to see how it is. Got a hook in here, can't put much weight on it, but you got the little window, got a little baggie here for a phone or something. I like it. It's kind of hot in here right now because it's a dark color, but this is nice for at night. And what else I really like about it is the same reason I love my other night cat. You shut these windows, you can completely seal it off where there's no ventilation. Perfect for the wind, perfect for cold weather. And we are on a beach, this is kind of inevitable, but I'm not gonna stake it down because I can literally just pick it up and dump it out. If I'm in here sleeping or even just my backpack, this can't blow away. I'm so far liking it. I'm really hoping not, but we may have set up on a fire ant nest. Red faces and black behinds, those might be fire ants. I hope not. If I get stung by just one of them, I'm gonna have to quickly move. I see trails of them. Are they going under me? Yeah. I think those are fire ants, so let's grab my shoe. Nothing's in them. Okay, let's try not to get them on me. I'm just dragging the tent over here. They're everywhere, actually. But over here, they seem pretty scattered. Oh no! It collapsed because it moved sideways. Pop back up. No, 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 no. There we go. Pop back up. I'm sitting in my tent in the shade editing right now, and I'm getting a little nervous about what I'm seeing. A lot of them are showing up. I can always quickly move if need be. It seems like there actually are a lot more fire ants, but let me step out. I don't think they're actually gonna bother me unless I step on their nest. I probably shouldn't have moved because it seems like there's more of them where I moved. So, there's a trail of them right there, and there's just a few random stragglers around. So I think I might move the tent back because right here, there's just a few stragglers around. If I don't step on the nest, I don't think they're gonna bother me. It's getting calmer out. I haven't had a boat in a while. I said earlier, so from the parking lot, it took us about 50 minutes of paddling to get here. By far not our longest trek. And there's pieces of coconut. Just pieces, unfortunately. Nothing we can crack open and drink.
Okay, we're gonna attempt to set up the village now. And I say attempt because I don't know if we're going to be able to or not. So I ordered some new plugs for all these houses. I ordered 8 plugs and they were pretty expensive. And just lost in the mail, gone, can't find it. Now, I normally don't order anything on the computer from like mid-November through February because I know this is notorious for happening. And I don't understand it because it's a very common story. Like, where are all these packages going? Delays I can understand, 100%. If it's supposed to be 2-day shipping and it takes 5 days, totally understand that. But for the packages to just disappear, that I don't understand. Where are all these packages going? There are, I don't know, hundreds of thousands of packages that just mysteriously disappear. This time I don't get it. So I got a refund on that one because it never surfaced. And then the retailer couldn't send me any more because they were out of stock at that point because like a week or so had gone by. So now I had to order a different string, which I don't like, just because it would ship overnight. And hopefully this will get me through the year. This is a meow. This is a stinking cat. Do not separate. This is so dumb. Warning: for Guile products, handle gently. This is dumb. I don't. This feels like it's empty. Well, that's actually packaged respectably. This came with stupid DEL bulbs, of course, and I could not find any of these strings that don't come with DEL bulbs. And this, like years ago, I could have just bought a plain old string that doesn't have any bulbs in it. Nope. Now, DEL has to be forced on me. So I had to pay extra for bulbs I didn't want or need. I'll put these in there and we'll test one of them and see how bad it is. It's possible I won't be able to notice the flickering too much from the bulb being inside the houses, but if I can see any flicker, I'm just going to replace them with incandescent or incandescent or whatever it is. I'm so over this whole stupid LED nonsense. I'm done with it. I'm more done with it than I ever have been before. Sick of stupid diodes being forced on me every turn. Okay. Now let's see how these are. So this is not individual things. These are a string. I didn't want a string because it's harder to hide the wires like this, but I did not have any other options at this point. So what I'll probably have to do is in maybe February or late January, before I put this stuff away, I'll try to order what I want again and see if I can successfully receive it. Alright, so is there a decent lead wire on this? Kind of. One of those dodgy inline switches. Don't like those. But for this low of a draw, I guess it's not really an issue. Okay. So these are extremely bright. They're actually like blinding. I don't know why these are so bright. Usually they should just been like a 4-watt bulb. This is kind of ridiculous. Yeah, they flicker. Typical. Yep, classic. I just don't understand how this is acceptable. This is not acceptable. Oh yeah, I can see it. Nope, this is not going to work. I gotta replace all these with incandescent. So much more pleasant. No comparison. Ugh. Well, now I have to go find where the white incandescent bulbs are. I know I have a plethora of C9s, but... And I know I have some C7 strings, but I don't know where they are. You know, for the sake of simplicity, I think I'm just going to put these in. And if I have time between now and Christmas to try to find those, which I don't think I will, it's easy enough to just swap them out on the spot. I'll put these in here, but I really don't like them. These are obnoxious, flickering junk. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 houses here. And the lighthouse has the correct unit. So I guess I'll start over here at this end. All these houses are going to be flickering. It's not the way it should be. I'm actually already getting a headache from these. These are really bad. I'm going to shut them off. Oh gosh, I'm actually really getting a bad headache from these. Holy cow. This is one of the worst. Oh gosh, that was awful. That was one of the worst, quickest DEL headaches I've ever gotten. These are extraordinarily harsh. Hopefully they're not as bad once I get them in the houses. I don't know. I might not even be able to use these at all. Yeah, see, now this is the problem with this type of string is I have to have a wire going in between each of the houses. You know, I can't just kind of discreetly push it down behind a wall there, so this is not ideal. I would not have chose this, but this is all I could get. What the heck? This requires an AC adapter. Oh man, I regret buying this set now. I have to put so much money into this thing between buying the houses and buying all these power cords. It wasn't worth it. This is supposed to be, I can't even read what it says. This is supposed to be 12 volts, 1000 milliamps, but it doesn't say if it's supposed to be AC or DC, and that makes a big difference. Oh, this is fiber optic. That's kind of cool. This is probably a beautiful piece. I just don't have the means of powering it up. And now I can't put this house here because now like I have to have a one of these here because these are not adjustable in width. So yeah, this is just not working out here. I'll have to take this one out for now. I'll just stick it over here. And if I find an adapter later, great, I'll use it. If not, well, I'll just have to go fart in a bag. I didn't realize when I bought these that all this stuff was missing. It wasn't worth what I paid with that in mind. But now look at this, looks terrible. Well, nothing I can do about it until next year. We'll grab this incandescent out of there. I gotta fix this. A leg broke off. I don't know why it fell. It just decided to fall off the string at random. Okay, so there's... It doesn't make any sense. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. There's 8 houses here. Why are there 3 lights left over? Was it not a set of 8? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So it's a string of 9? I don't really remember it being a string of 9. I thought it was a string of 8. Well, I guess it's a string of 9. So we'll just have to leave one blank, I guess. Well, this has to be the way it is then. It's got a two lights in there. All right. So that will be incandescent, not flickering something awful. And I guess I'll just unscrew this partially and unscrew this partially to get around that. And then we need a power bar under here. You can just use a small one. You only have you have 3 things to plug in. use this vintage Radio Shack one. It seems like the protection has failed in this bar, but it doesn't matter in this case. You don't need it. Well, the power bar fit nicely over here, but that's about all that I can give this this setup for now. Well, it's powered on. It is flickering away, but I don't think it's gonna give me a headache like this. It just looks stupid. And this house is ridiculous. There's one tiny little hole in the door, and that's it. You can barely even tell there's a light in it. Well, I think that's going to be a wrap for today. I'm tired. This is annoying. I think I'm just going to go to sleep and deal with it tomorrow.